Hi everyone, my name is Daisy.
Hello guys, my name is Ruth and welcome back to the Rooted and Ready podcast powered by NAYNET. We are here at the Kuza studios and we're so excited to have you. I hope you've been engaging with our content. There's so much that we've posted and we truly want to build each other up in the faith. So Daisy, we are back again.
Yeah, we're so glad to be back. We have our first female guest. We are so excited.
This season.
Oh, this season?
Yeah, yes.
Did we even have one last season? Oh yeah, we did.
Hope.
We had hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So today we are joined by the amazing Pastor Bella. Woo! Yes, and we'll allow her to introduce herself and then we get right into the conversation. Hi, Bella.
Hi. It's nerves upon nerves. But you know what? Lovely to be in the company of powerful, amazing women.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Bella. Bella Mburu is my name. Married to one Andy Mburu. You know, lots of people see us together and wonder, what are those two doing together? And think that there's something illegal going on here. But no, he is my husband.
Okay.
Legally, before God and man. And we have 3 beautiful children together.
All right.
Amazing.
And we just have the honor of raising these 3 for his kingdom. They really are amazing.
Wow.
We delight in them. They bring so much joy to us. And I am the next generation pastor at the Nairobi chapel.
Okay.
Next generation, not meaning we don't believe that their time is now.
Yeah.
Guys, yes, we believe that. Just a name. But I guess if you want to go theological about it, it's the now but not yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, but not yet.
You know, but you know, it's that thing for one generation commends the next.
True.
And there needs to be overlaps in these 2 generations serving and working together so that one generation doesn't get this big head that we can do it without you or vice versa. So we definitely believe in the next generation. And that for us looks like the 0 to 26-year-olds. I work with an amazing team and we get to serve the children, the preteens, the teens and the young adults at our church.
Wow.
Right.
An honor.
Amazing.
But next gen is such a cool name, right?
Yeah,
It's like putting it on the next gen pastor. It's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Nice.
It's such a cool name. I like what you said as we're getting into our conversation about how the generations are working together in tandem. And I was like, I don't know if it's in 1 Samuel chapter 3, where it says the Eli and Samuel story, that even though Samuel was the one who was chosen, Samuel still needed Eli to know the voice of God. Yeah, so maybe we can start there and just begin to understand the beautiful play between generations and how they work together as we start our conversation. Yeah, maybe to disciple each other. How does a parent who's in a different generation help their child who is in maybe, now we are Gen Alpha and Gen Z?
Gen Beta as well.
Gen Beta as well. Yeah, they're being born. Yeah.
Wow. I think, let me just start with the beauty of God has never lost a generation.
I love that.
And he never will.
Yeah.
But we need to understand the generations and the times. Something that comes out so clearly in the handover when basically David is taking his rightful place. And the different tribes of Israel are coming and are basically pledging their allegiance to him. And, all these different tribes come and they pledge, these men will come with you and fight with you for you to take your rightful place. And these ones will come and take, and, it's thousands, it's big numbers from this tribe. And then the men of Issachar come. And all we're told about the men of Issachar is that there were men who understood the times. And I always come back to that passage in the context of ministry that we find ourselves in right now, that we should be men who understand the times. They were about to go out into battle. And if you even think about battle in today's context, there's a couple of wars going on right now, sadly. But you need people who'll understand and have the strategy, the tact, who've done the research, who understand what are the strengths of these people, what are their weaknesses, when should we attack, how should we attack, where are we weak, so and so on and so forth. I feel like that's who the men of Issachar were in this battle.
Wow, yeah.
That they understood the times enough to know how do we therefore go into this battle, and they informed it. And so we, as youth workers and as people serving this generation, need to understand the times. We need to understand the times that have been, the times that we're in right now, and possibly possibly the times we're headed into. And so if you're to be in a ministry context and apply that wisdom to it, you would need all these generations.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The Gen Zs have a bit of money. They're a little fluid. They've got some cash in hand just because, the jobs that they're working nowadays are not jobs that I necessarily in my generation. As millennials, we were raised to work hard so that you can get, into a good job. So that you can get into good uni, so that you can get a good job, and end up marrying one husband, get 2 kids,
have a car,
house, 4-wheel drive, all those things.
Oh my God, the Kenyan dream.
All those things.
Yeah.
So, so that's what we were taught to work hard for. But they are influencing and earning money through all these other channels.
Coding things
using
online.
AI and coding and this and all of that. Do you see why these times are so different?
Yeah, they are.
So they do have a bit of money, but guess what? In church right now, and youth ministries look down upon because their offering is the least.
Yeah.
So
for many different reasons, because even when I was a youth, sometimes the temptation was greater and I didn't necessarily put in my offering
everything is.
But also because they're not earning. The people who are earning are in the adult congregation, right? So they bring the finances to resource the work that needs to be done. But the young people have the availability and they have the time and, they have the zeal and the passion. They have the know-how with AI and all of these, robotics and all of these things.
True.
And so if we are going to reach out and reach out well to this generation, and if we're going to engage them in the Great Commission, because we're all on mission, young and old,
True.
then it's not just an old people thing. And it's not just a us people thing. It's an all of us. We're all on mission together. So let's all bring our strength and go on mission together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I've loved that statement of also understanding the times and the seasons. Yeah, it's just for us to understand what is this season about the Gen Zs, about the Alpha, now better. And maybe just to talk about those practical ways to equip the parents. As you said, parents sometimes can come and just be like, I'm not able, church.
This is all I know.
Yeah.
All I know is how I was raised.
So I don't know anything else. And then they come and maybe push it on to the youth workers, the children workers. But now how can we practically work with parents and equip them in that direction of family-based ministry?
I think Kenya is still how many % Christian? 80?
80
something.
but
83. I don't know what those statistics are. But it's by name. It's by
the box you tick when they give you the form.
It's a verb. Exactly.
It's
not even a verb, because a verb is the doing. It's a noun. It's a noun that we're Christians, but it's not the doing. And I think our parents were so used to unaendanga tu church. Period.
That was enough.
That was enough. And in their times, the church, the school, the home, they all aligned. And so what was being taught at home was being taught in church, was being taught in school, and that was fine. And so I think our parents are doing what was done for them. They're bringing them to the church and they're understanding that, this was done for me, so it'll work for my child. And failing to understand that the times that their children are living in are different. Okay? So we have a fourth entrant, and that's the media. It's the tech, it's all of these things. And it's a heavy hitter, this particular entrant into this equation of where young people are getting their truth and are being taught and discipled. So the parents just saying, okay, here nimewaleta church, you do you, not a bad thing. I don't want to hate on parents too much, but it's not what God's mandate is. It's not what God's design for discipleship is. God's design for the discipleship of generations primarily starts within the home. It starts in the Deuteronomy 6 mandate, where, after Moses was given the 10 commandments and he was told, go and give this to the children of Israel, and then he was told, tell them to teach these things to their children and to their children's children, to talk about them when they sit at home, when they lie down, when they wake up, when they walk along the roads, and all of those different scenarios. And this command was being given to parents. It was not being given to youth workers. It was not being given to Sunday school teachers. It was being given to parents. Yes, it's been given to Bible-believing, God-fearing, faith-filled parents. And yes, there is a generation of children who do not have parents, and that's actually how Sunday school and youth ministry began. It was for orphans, for children and teens who did not have parents and therefore could not teach them these ways of the Lord. And so they stand in the gap on behalf of those children and young people who don't have parents. But I think it's also for those who do not have believing parents. Because I think in a lot of our youth ministries, we do have teens who bring themselves or come with their friends because their parents are not believers. And so in that sense, you act as a surrogate parent to teach these commands to them. But that primary mandate we have to acknowledge is not given to us. It is given to parents first and foremost. Because if you look at those 4 elements, when you sit at home, are we the ones who are sitting at home eating dinner with these people? No. Are we the ones who are putting them to bed? No. Do we go into their houses and tell them good night? You know, are we the ones waking them up and telling them, oh, good morning, you know, have an amazing day? Are we the ones taking them to school or driving them? No, we're not doing any of those things. Those are things that are fulfilled by someone who's in very close proximity to these teenagers, and that's their parents. So this mandate is given to parents, and that's why family-based youth ministry is super crucial and important. In as much as when parents bring their children our way and their teens our way and they're like, you guys do such a good job, and it makes us feel good about ourselves.
Anakusikiza wewe. Mimi nikimwambia anakusikia wewe.
Exactly. And it gives you a sense of importance, you know, and worth. For by the way, I do work hard. Somebody's
that validation you needed.
It is the validation we need. And there's nothing wrong with that because, you know, we do strive to be good at what we do. It's a calling and we're passionate about it. But we shouldn't take that as a reason to abdicate parents from their responsibility. In essence, when parents come and tell me, oh, but they listen to you, they won't listen to me, then I know there's a breakdown in this relationship. And that's a sin thing, isn't it? It's even in Malachi. Malachi, is it 4:6, where, you know, they speak of the hearts of fathers will be turned to their sons and the hearts of the sons will be turned. That's a restoration that we're looking forward to seeing because there's been a breakdown of relationship. And so family-based youth ministry should aim to restore that relationship between a teenager and their parents and not act as, you know, a permanent mediator who should never be removed from the equation. But we should work as the mediator who's helping them to reconnect, rebuild, restore, so that the parent ends up actually serving the primary mandate that God has given them to disciple their teenager.
I love that. That's amazing. Just to see that the way it's working together, the sequence of it. And isn't it interesting that when you're working in the youth, you're a youth worker, you're working in the youth ministry space, how many children actually pass through your hands and they leave. And I think sometimes we're deluded by the fact that we think we will always be present in their lives. But we forget the only constant in their lives, apart from God, is their parent. Because they'll just pass through your hands. Maybe you're there, you're taking them through ex-cans, or you're taking them through that teen period, and then they leave. But it's their parents. So maybe Pastor Bele, you tell us what are the ways we can use to equip the parents, because we've said this is a person they're spending forever with. How do we equip the parents so that they don't feel, because I also feel sometimes parents are overwhelmed. They just feel, "Sasa nitadu." So how do we help
even
them?
they feel inadequate.
Very inadequate.
Even them in their faith are just beginning. They're like, can I be able to pour into them? I don't have.
Or sometimes you also I feel like some parents also feel like I wasn't taught. Like I figured it out. But they don't want you to figure it out. But they don't know how to they don't know how to help you through it.
Yeah, I get that. And that's the answer is not straightforward or simple, and I think everybody will just need to discern and figure out what is going to work in our context. There's lots of things that we've tried in our church context and I've seen other people do that we've borrowed, we've tweaked, we've figured out, as long as it's biblical and it's, you know, looking to serve the purpose of what youth ministry should be accomplishing, which is discipling teens. One, I agree that a lot of our parents weren't necessarily discipled by their parents. And so they do not know how to do this.
Yeah.
But we need to change that narrative. And so one of the things that we've done is we have parenting classes.
Nice.
Now, a lot of us who run ROPES, which is the pre-teens classes, there's parenting classes involved within that program. But I think more often than not, we stop there.
Yeah.
We run parenting classes for children because even me as a parent, I remember when we were let to go home with our daughter and we've cleared everything and we're like, Ati, so now we go. And we're like, go home and do what? With this child. Like, you're just going to trust us rookies with this child. Like, what is wrong with you people? You shouldn't be letting us go with this child. We do not know what we're doing
with the child.
Exactly. And so in that season, you will sign up for any and every parenting class there because you want to get things right because they're vulnerable or they're innocent or they're just delicate. So people and parents will take parenting classes for those early years because they're just
they don't know what to do.
Yeah. And then the preteens one, they're like, okay, we're transitioning into teenagehood, so this is crucial. But then most of us leave the parents there. After they've turned 13, we're like,
all right,
God for you all. And the parents are also clueless because they're like,
what do we do?
Now this stage is different.
Because their parents didn't necessarily intentionally parent them in that season. And so we take them through parenting classes. We actually have parenting classes even for parents of empty nesters, 19 plus years old. And we introduced those about 3 years ago. We've done the parenting teens classes now for about 5 years, 4 or 5 years, I think. And it was the realization that, yes, there is a broken relationship here. The teens, yes, do act all, I don't need you, I don't want you, you're bothering me, you don't understand me, get out of my space. But they really do desire.
They really do.
That relationship. Because what do? They come to us and they're like, oh, my mom, oh, my dad, That's the constant complaint. And then in the parent side, they're also coming to us.
Like,
this child. Do you see how the enemy has turned their hearts away from each other? The bleeding relationship that needs to be restored is this one, not us, not with us.
Yes.
It's with them. And so we have and started the parenting classes to sit with parents of teenagers so that they can learn from each other, so that they can come and have a support group.
Say me too.
And be like, I hear you, me too. But we bring parents who've been through it as well, been through those milimas, namabones, and all those struggles. And they said, I was there, but this is what I did. And I persisted and I didn't stop. And I was present and I was intentional. And obviously the Bible is our main manual. The facilitators that, run it are basically like, guideposts, pointing them in the direction, just the path that worked for them. But it's the word of God that instructs, these classes and these parents of these teenagers to just encourage them to keep playing their role as a parent of these teenagers actively. So the parenting teens classes, the empty nesters parenting classes have been super helpful. The empty nesters ones have been more so for, have you ever met an adult who needs to go to therapy? There's many out there. And the struggle always comes back to parenting and the relationship with the parents. And a simple, I'm sorry from their parents.
That's it.
Could heal so much and just stop that cycle from repeating itself again and again and again. And so we have the empty nesters parenting classes. And when we started them, people are like, why are you having classes for people who've moved out of the house?
Well, adults,
And I'm like, because our young adults sit and the problems and the things that are hurting them are connected to their relationship with their parents. And so those parents need to sit and assess and look back at their parenting and come back and say sorry. Let the Holy Spirit convict them as they assess what their parenting journey has been. And it's a really interesting parenting class because the parents are told to go back and talk to their adult children to grade them, if you may, on how they parented them. And you see, at that age, you have nothing to lose. You're like, you want the truth and nothing but the truth.
Come on.
I'm going to give it to you. And so they're able to realize, oh my goodness, I could have and I should have done differently. And I've sat in those classes not because I have adult children, But I listen to their conversations, and they're very real and raw and honest, how they chased after those promotions and providing for their children at the expense of a relationship with their children. And so now they're seated in these big homes in, the upper K's. My husband calls them the upper K's, the Karens, the Kitty
the upper K's.
These big homes in the upper K's. And their children are not coming to visit them. They're not picking up their phone calls. They're looking at their calls and just be like, because they don't have a relationship with them. And so those classes are equally important. And when they realize this, many of them do the hard work of going back to say they're sorry. And that's what those children, the adult children, need to hear. Because even then, you're still parenting.
Yeah.
If your parents are still alive, my mom passed away a couple of years ago, but my dad is still there. He's a voice of reason in my life. I seek him out for wisdom because he's had a good life and he's lived, a productive life. So I still want him to guide me and counsel me. And if you had a good enough relationship with your parent, then you still seek them out for counsel, So parenting classes, we found, has been a crucial tool that helps to onboard parents onto what their mandate continues to be, even in teen years, to continue discipling their teenagers, to keep working hard and fighting for the hearts of their teenagers. And you're right, I heard you say some of them feel like they don't know, they're new in faith. I like to tell our parents that discipleship is a sincere process. What you know, you teach.
Just teach what you know.
Yeah. So don't be out here trying to teach big truths that are not true for you just yet. What God is teaching you, teach your teenager. What God is showing you, what you're experiencing, what you're battling with. Share it with your teenager. That's what discipleship looks like. It's an ongoing, sincere, and authentic process. It's not a fake process. So you don't need to be a pastor who's been through, theological
to be able to
disciple your child.
And isn't it interesting that children want to see you they just want to see you. They just want to see mom. They don't see the pastor or the CEO. Or whoever it is that you show up as.
Even just to say, I don't know.
I don't know.
We think that we have to tell them.
And then you just like, what do you think? I don't know, what do you think?
Have that conversation. The child feels like, wow, mom actually wants to talk to me. Dad is seeing me also as a human being that he can just say, I really don't know. What do you think about that? And that conversation.
That, actually. Those are three powerful words that I don't know. And these Gen Zs, one of the markers of them is I like to say they're allergic to fake.
They are.
They're allergic to hypocrisy. And so they see it in us and they detest it. So just telling them, I don't know. They see an authenticity in you and therefore they'll keep coming back to you. And you actually teach them something so powerful in admitting your own imperfection or that you're not all-knowing because only God is.
True.
And that we can go back together. And that's what I encourage my children and our parents. You say, I don't know. So why don't you do some research and studying and I'll do some research and studying. Alafu tupatane in a day or two. And let's discuss what did you find? What did I find? And let's see if we can come to a truth together. And so you've also taught them through your realness that I don't know, that where do we go back to? Let's go back to God's word together. That even I don't know. And so when you don't know sometime later on in your life, you can go back to God's word. You can search.
Maybe we talk about, my question was about the new influence that is in town. And that's the social media space. Okay, first, I really like the parenting, because in every other aspect of our life, the parenting classes, every other aspect of our lives, we go for training. Like if I want to become a doctor, a nurse, I'm just going to say, I have a feeling within me. I feel like I can treat. No, but you have to be told, okay, come, go for the training, learn about it, and then now you go. And I think that's such an important thing for each person to note, that to encourage our parents and the parents out there to go for parenting classes.
The seminars. There's so many other things you can just seek out.
Can I ask that question? Or you want something?
No, I wanted to, I don't know if it's a question, but I'd like her to comment on it. She said, with the empty nesters, what you're realizing is that now parents are realizing, I didn't, like you can tell your parent you did. And I had a therapist say, the problem most of us are facing is that you know what you don't want to become. So you've seen your parent maybe do this, and you're very certain this is not what this is not what you want to become. And so you know what you want to become, but you don't have the tools to break the cycle. So I think what I wanted to ask is, or for us to comment about, is that maybe in that openness where parents are able to say, I don't know, or this is all I knew. So now that the young adult or the young teen will be able to maybe ask the parent. That I think I love that restoration part where they're able to say, okay, this is all I knew, but the child is like, I don't want this. You know? So what the tools to become the different person. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You're answering yourself because you're saying having those conversations.
Yeah, having those conversations.
I don't know, you, what do you think? And allowing the child also to speak into it. So I think even your question is with the answer, just having those conversations.
I think it's the being stuck. I think most of us are being stuck with, I don't want to become this. I want to become this, but I don't know the tools to not become what I don't want to be. So I think that those conversations with the parents, your parent is able to tell you, or your mom is able to tell you. I remember when I was getting married, my mom told me, you know, you're privileged. You get to choose when you've gone along in age. So when she told me that, it brought me to an awareness of,
she didn't get to choose.
She didn't get it. Even if she did choose, she didn't choose with the information I have now.
Or when she was a bit
wiser. So it allowed me to also see her as a human being. Right?
And empathize.
And just empathize with her. So I think also that having those conversations as parents, and maybe as we're setting up this parenting classes, is also for children to have. I know in ROPES, one of the things we do is we allow the child and the parent to sit together for like an hour and they talk. And I know there's a running joke, we say, this is not the time to tell them about current events in the country, you know, because you have no relationship with the child. So I don't know the way that question was going.
And actually, just dandiaing that thought, another thing that we do is we have parent-teen connect services.
Wow.
So at least we're doing them now at least every school holiday. Where instead of the parents going into the adult service, they come and sit with their teenagers in their service. They'll experience teen worship led by their teens. And then we'll have conversations and a preaching that will basically come around either a hot topic or just basically a sermon that allows the parents and the teens to engage. One of the downsides is the parents don't have time to actually sit with their teenagers, isn't it? They're spending more time with their drivers, their nannies, their gardeners, their teachers, you know, not their parents.
Everyone else but
them. So the parents don't know them. And so how are you going to know them if you're not creating time for it? So we force time. In a couple of Sundays a year, we force time for you will come.
You come.
And you will sit next to your teenager. And initially the teens were like,
I could never.
You guys can't force me, even though you force me to sit next to them. I'm not going to talk to them. And I'm like, that's your prerogative.
But you can choose.
But what we're saying is we see you hurting and we see your parents hurting. And a solution here is you need to create time to start talking. And we're not saying that these are going to be magical moments where all of a sudden
it's not
you walk
a switch.
out as BFFs. But we started the conversation.
Wow.
And part of it is helping that empathy come out from both generations. Where like the last one we had was our topic was creating a family of belonging. And so the parents were able to talk about their family, their upbringing, what it was like, their realities. And then the teens are like shook by all of these realities.
Like,
what? You know, and things like that. And then together agreeing. So what sort of a family do we want to be? So you see, both sides have listened to each other and have dialogued enough. And then the conversations, hopefully we pray and hope. At least we hear testimonies. Some continued those conversations in the car and we encourage them to continue the conversations onto the dinner table, you know, over lunch and so on. So it's to create the spaces for dialogue as well, for them to empathize with each other. Because you begin to understand your parent in a whole different light when you realize, oh my goodness, you know, like your mom said, she didn't have a choice. Wow. So maybe I can now understand some of the advice that she gives me. And I'm just thinking, no. You know,
generally coming from a good place, a place of wanting the best for you because she knows where
and I
she's
think
come from.
it also helps where you what you separate, your mom is also a person.
Yeah.
Because we see
So a
our
girl.
parents
They're
as
human
parents.
beings.
It's like this is just she was just a girl.
She's
She was
a
just
girl.
trying even her.
The guy is that, their dad.
Your dad was just he was just trying, even him. So you really empathize.
Yeah.
And I like that. I can imagine just the vulnerability,
Yeah.
is it a word like uncomfortability?
Yeah,
Let's
just
The
that
discomfort.
space. Yeah, the discomfort.
Yeah,
It just opens up the space. I think those are quite important
Conversations and
tools.
tools.
For the youth workers to put. And so just going back to that question that started of the fourth influence that is here.
That's here with us.
Like, we can't ignore it. We can't put our heads like
In the sun,
and be like, we don't
Yeah.
we don't. It's there. It's going to be there. And especially even already Gen Alpha was born into it. I imagine Gen Beta has been born with even its AI now. Like,
do you know
them,
they say
there's nothing they won't
you can see something, you don't know it's AI.
Yeah.
Then when they see, they know. You wonder what configuration is this that's going on. Then they can tell this is AI. You are convinced it's real.
Yes.
I mean, my daughter, we drive down Ngong Road to their school, and they're just like, that billboard is AI.
You're just like,
that was not the first thing that clicked in my mind. I'm just like, it's a billboard. They're already sussing it out and tearing it apart, and
and it's going to be that. But I don't know what's now the balance for youth workers and also parents. So also, because there's a lot of harm also behind some of this.
Yeah, social media.
And it's an easy babysitter also. It's an easy thing to just put and like, okay, at least there's calm in the house. But how can we work around it for the benefit and for the expansion of the kingdom, but also maintaining protection? Because I think there's a story that was said an AI nearly got sued where a teenage boy, a 14-year-old was asking, saying, I'm depressed, I'm what, I'm doing this. And he's like, I think I should kill myself. He said, it makes sense. I think you should. As he doesn't have that guard to tell someone, no,
there's
don't
no
do
guardrail.
that.
Yeah.
So how?
Because it responds the way you want. Yeah, whatever you want, that's how it responds.
It'll tell you that.
Your algorithm basically is going to give you what you want because they want you to keep using it.
Yeah.
So that's this fourth entrant is. We shouldn't take it lightly, I think.
I think that should be the name of this episode. The name of this episode, the fourth entrant. That's such a cool name, I know. So that they can all click and watch.
Yeah, they're like, there's 3 people on the...
who's the fourth entrant?
The Holy Spirit, guys. Do you not perceive? But so the first 3 in essence, home, church, school. Those 3 in our parents and parents' generations were on the same page.
Yes.
They agreed on the morals, on the values that were taught. But nowadays, there's a bit of a,
we don't know.
Yeah. And the fourth entrant comes, tech and media and everything that there is. It is what? How do I put this? A good analogy is basically that it's like fire.
Yeah.
It is a good servant, but not a good master. And even when the TV was invented, from what I recall, I remember hearing this, that some great evangelists called it the devil box. And they really preached against it, and they were against this devil box because they didn't understand it. And no sooner were they the ones in the devil box,
preaching,
and using it as a tool to expand the kingdom. So I agree that this fourth entrant, the media, is a beautiful servant and can be a beautiful servant for the kingdom of God. So we shouldn't shun it,
completely zero.
Completely just decide, preach to our parents. No, don't give them this. Don't everything. No, guys, no, it's not. That's not the way it's going to work. It's here. It's with us. And that's why understanding the times is important. And as parents, and that's why we need to work with parents, because some of these parents, and that's why the parenting classes, the seminars, and any session that you can create that brings parents together in person, online, you try everything you must. But one of the things that we get to do as youth workers to partner with parents in family-based ministry is to be the ones who are on the ground understanding these things on their behalf and then looping them in and teaching them and showing them, here's the pros, here's the cons, here's suggestions of what you can do, but you prayerfully discern what's best for your home situation. So parents being able to know that AI is with us, tech and media is with us, social media is with us. Don't fight it. let's figure out what offline values do we need to teach our teenagers and teach it way in advance. Don't teach it the way sex was taught to some of us, on your wedding day. Exactly. Or when you get your first period. Sorry, gentlemen who are watching this, but some of you will get married and have daughters. And all of a sudden, the only talk you have is now you can get pregnant.
Yeah, don't even sit on someone.
You were just like, is it osmosis? What exactly will happen? Yeah.
Exactly. And you fail to recognize the beautiful gift that it is. And so we need to figure out and teach our parents, okay, what gift is this to the body of Christ that it can help us to expand the kingdom? Yes. There's such amazing things. I mean, we're in the Kuza studios. What a beautiful resource they give us in an app that can allow young people to read their Bibles in a fun and engaging way. So not all media is bad. There are bad things about it. Just like fire can burn, and so it's to be mindful. Don't get too close or be careful about how much, what's that fire starter liquid that you put in, or something, Exactly. So just be careful around this fire. It's heating us up. It's giving us warmth. It's helping us cook. It's helping us power up our houses, this, that, and the other. There's all these beautiful things, but there's also these things because too much of anything is wrong. Talk to them about idolatry and the fact that anything that you are putting first before God becomes an idol. So be mindful of this, just like I can be mindful of my love for chocolate, guys. Did I say that in my introduction?
No, you didn't say that.
I love my chocolate. Wow. It can be an idol in my life. In fact, I have a chocolate in my bag. Where's my bag?
I will find Bella's bag.
But I love my chocolate. And I have to be mindful over the fact that my body's a temple, so I have to be careful what I put in. And if all I'm thinking about is chocolate, Yani, I'm reading my Bible is secondary to this.
Yeah.
I need to have self-control and what the word teaches me about, things like that. Same thing for the media. I cannot make it an idol in my life. So if it takes the place of, solitude and meditating on God's word and studying his word, then it's become an idol. And so we just need to teach parents, this is not all bad. There's so many good uses that can come off this. It's not a devil box.
Yeah,
it's not a devil infection. So let's teach our children the offline values that they will then use when they're online. Let's help our parents think through what are the boundaries that we need to set because I know we fear things we do not know. And so for them, it's now this thing is here. So I just need to prevent my child from ever using it, thinking that that's going to save them from being consumed by, addiction to gadgets or all the content that they can get on those gadgets. But it's what are the offline values to know, what are the boundaries that we need to set so that you do not get addicted to this? When and where and how do you use it? And when you use it, what are you using it for? What is building you and not destroying you so that they're not, getting, sucked into pornography and all sorts of addiction, including gambling and so on and so forth. So if the parents have done their job of parenting and they've talked to their teenagers and given them some values and set some boundaries and some rules around it, then this fourth entrant is not a bad thing.
Wow. So maintain all those offline values. Wow.
Isn't it interesting that no matter what is coming, because as I'm listening to Pastor Bella, what is coming to my mind is the disciplines still apply. Doesn't matter what entrant will come in.
Yes, because there'll be different things.
Yeah, because an idol is an idol. Whether it's chocolates, whether it's social media, right?
That golden calf.
Whether it's the golden calf, and it's like, how dare you?
You're bowing down to and dancing around.
So at the end of the day, if you're, as you're saying, offline values are solid, no matter what is coming around, you can use it as a tool and not allow for it to consume you. And it's funny how we tell them, social media can be an addiction, but we're also addicted to things that we're not willing to,
Let's go.
Let's just nice social media.
Public repentance.
One to another. It will help your soul.
I think that's another episode. It'll take too long. I think
you'll need to lie down on the sofa.
Maybe I wanted to ask Bella to talk about because I like what you've said. The youth worker is the boots on the ground. you get to do it. And I think, is it Alpha who says data is prophecy? I don't know if it's Alpha or One Hope.
One Hope, yeah.
Yeah, it's One Hope who says data is prophecy. Research is prophecy. So you're the youth worker, you're the boots on the ground. You get to research, you get to bring together these programs. So I think for us to see our role is a support role. We're not the main actors. The parent, and I'm gonna that one for Malachi, the restoration part. That it's the goal is to the parent, the child, or the young adult. You as the in between, you're not the permanent fixture. Yeah? So just maybe talk to the youth worker and just let them down easy. Just remind them that their work here is to help so that the parent and the young adult can be able to have that communication and the restoration.
Yeah, I think if your youth ministry, if your church is grounded on the Bible, then that mandate is very clear. I think God called you, and I'm glad you said yes to his calling. I think we need more passionate people in this youth ministry space. It's not just a job, it's a calling. And so go you for saying yes to God's calling over your life to serve in his vineyard and to partner with him in what he's doing amongst his people. But be mindful that your youth ministry is biblical and Bible-based in that sense, that you understand what God's intention for the community and the fellowship of believers is. There is a space for youth ministry in that sense, because the teens get this beautiful space to come and to connect with each other. And this generation needs it now more than ever, particularly with this fourth entrant and this generation who are so connected, but yet so disconnected. The church is a beautiful place for fellowship, for FaceTime with each other, like real FaceTime.
Yeah, real, not
the other one.
To talk and to connect and to have real and genuine relationships. And we cannot neglect, the fellowship and the meeting of believers. And so when youth come together and they get to talk and they get to experience that fact that, okay, you're also struggling with this. So how did you come around this? So what is God teaching you? They're also growing, and that's our role as well. But that role cannot be done outside of the connection with parents. We must find a way to bring the parents back into this picture, to have the parents realize that this is God's mandate to you. For those who didn't know it, we must take on that additional role of working with parents. And if they do not know, then we must tell them. If they do not want to listen, then you must get their ear. You must figure out a way of just getting them to listen to you and to realize that, hey, this is what God expects of you. And in as much as you've entrusted your teens to us, and we're so grateful and thankful for that partnership, that's what it is. It's a partnership, and it's not an equal partnership. This is a 99.9.0. We are the 0.01. This is their job, and we are just coming to cheerlead them, to champion them, to train them where we need to train them, because you have experience, in your calling and in your training and in your experiences as a youth pastor. There's a lot that you can teach these parents. So advocate for your teens by bringing their parents on board and training them and equipping them and cheerleading them to be a part of this family-based youth ministry, and for them to actually disciple their teenagers and fulfill the Great Commission in their house, first and foremost.
Wow. That is such a beautiful way to wrap this conversation. And just maybe, Bello, can just say if there's anywhere people can reach you on social media, because this has been such an empowering conversation, and maybe people would want to...
There's a youth worker who's wondering, Guy, how do I start? Can I reach out to you?
Any resources?
I mean, you've stated Alpha.
Yes.
We have, basically different churches. What does your church call Bible studies or e-groups or discipleship groups for the adults to meet?
Home fellowship.
Home fellowships, what do you guys call it? Ecclesias, yes. So we have those for adults. We have those for teenagers in our church.
Wow.
And we partner with parents and we ask the parents.
You have them for?
The teenagers.
For the teenagers.
So they go to each other's homes?
Yes, and so we partner with the parents
Yeah,
and we
it's
say
fun.
to the parents, this is your job. So you're going to open up your homes.
Yeah.
You're going to feed your children and
Yeah.
their friends.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
And then we'll come, and Alpha is a beautiful tool and resource, very relatable.
Yes, yeah.
And our pilot group that started maybe 5 years ago now, the parents are now running that home group ecclesia that is now for teenagers.
Wow.
And so that's a beautiful, resource,
Yeah.
the Alpha material. Happy to have a conversation. You can reach me on my social media handles. I might not be the best at it, but I check.
You check once now. We'll have them here project.
Yeah, Bella Mburu is what I use.
Mburu, okay.
I'm good. I try to be a good communicator. So if you reach out on my handles, then I will definitely reach out and I'll reach out back. But these ladies have my number. If it is urgent, talk to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's urgent, yeah.
And
We
they
also
will-
have the NAYNET details.
NAYNET
email
details
and all
as
that
well.
stuff.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so
That was
much.
nice.
And
Yeah.
And thank you, ladies, for doing this. I've watched a few episodes and it's a resource that we need.
Yeah.
So asanteni for
Thank
your
you so much.
obedience.
Thank you for
in doing
coming.
this. Thank you.
Okay, Daisy, close us
All
off.
right. Thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed. I really have enjoyed this conversation. As a youth worker, I pray that this has been beneficial. It has helped you gain a better understanding of what you're doing in terms of family-based youth ministry. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Till see you in the next one. Bye.